Hi, my name is Elena. I'm 29 years old, and last month I bought my dream house. I scrubbed the counters, hung string lights, and cooked chili. Every chair was waiting for the people I called family, but no one came. They all went to see my sister's brand new car instead. At 5:41, I turned on the lights of my empty home. That's when my phone lit up with Dad's name. His voice was sharp, clipped. "We need to talk now." I thought it was about love and family, but it wasn't. It was about what they planned to take from me. I grew up in a house where money wore costumes. Sometimes it was called love, sometimes responsibility, sometimes duty. Whatever word fit the day. When I was 14, Dad charged me room and board. $100 a month from my grocery store paycheck. He said it would teach me the real world. I handed him the bills like I was paying a fine. At 16, I asked where the money went. Mom said, "Into the family." When I asked to see proof, Dad laughed. That laugh still rings in my ears. By then, I kept records. A little notebook, later a phone file. Every payment, every emergency, every dollar into fog. It wasn't petty. It was survival. It was how I kept reality real. Meanwhile, my younger sister Tessa lived under a softer sky. When I bought a used car, I changed my own oil. When she got hers, Dad handed her keys to a new hatchback. He said, "A young woman needs something safe." And everyone clapped. When she dropped out of college, they called it vision. When she started a candle business without taxes, they called it potential. When she became a content creator, I did the math for the ring light, the phone upgrade, the creative space. And when I said no, when I refused to co-sign a lease or add a phone line, the words shifted. Suddenly, I wasn't family. I was stingy. I was cold. I was a ledger with legs. Mom's voice would turn glassy. "Don't be a ledger, Elena. We fed you. We clothed you. We did everything for you." Dad would stare out the window and deliver the blow. "A real daughter provides." That's how love was measured in my house. Not in hugs or words, but in transactions. The more I gave, the more they asked. And the less I existed outside their needs. I learned early not to expect applause. You do the right thing. You keep moving. And if you want something of your own, you sacrifice in silence. I thought buying a house would change that equation. I thought it meant they couldn't use "we" to secretly mean you. I was wrong. Because my housewarming wasn't just empty. It was the setup for something worse. I started saving at 25, not spare change in a jar. Real saving. Overtime shifts, no vacations, roommates who left dirty dishes. I named my spreadsheet brick by brick. Each row was a small denial. Skip takeout, save 40. Skip a trip, save 300. Skip new shoes, save 80. I stacked sacrifices until they formed walls. 4 years later, I signed my name 15 times in one afternoon. When the title officer slid the folder toward me, she called me homeowner. The word felt heavy, delicious, like a knot loosening in my throat. I bought a little Craftsman. 2 bedrooms, a squeaky hallway, a fireplace with a crooked blue fish tile. The backyard had a lemon tree that clicked in the wind. The porch swing came with the house. If I promised to sit there. For the first time, I had a door that locked for me. Not for roommates, not for parents, not for Tessa's next move. Mine. When I told my family, their smiles bent sideways. Mom said, "Make sure you have a guest room for Tessa." Dad said, "Add a garage so I can finally store my saw." Tessa asked, "Your kitchen has amazing light. Can I film there?" Still, I let myself celebrate. I brought cheap cider and paper cups. I took a photo with the sold sign. I posted "Housewarming Saturday 5 p.m. chili cornbread." All week I scrubbed and polished, rolled paint over scuffs, bought folding chairs, strapped a secondhand rug to my old Civic. I bought 8 bowls that matched. I lit citronella candles that smelled like lemon cleaner. I simmered chili at 4 o'clock, cornbread at 4:20. I even chilled 1 root beer for Dad, because he likes to pretend he's a kid. At 5:02, I checked the street. Empty. At 5:11, I lit the candles anyway. At 5:18, I texted ETA. Mom wrote, "Soon." Dad didn't answer. Tessa sent a photo in sunglasses. Standing before a glossy red car, we did a thing. At 5:33, another buzz. A video of Mom filming Tessa rev the engine. Someone laughed. Everyone clapped. I stood in my spotless kitchen, my chili bubbling like it was mocking me. I turned off the burner. At 5:41, I flipped on my living room lights. The room looked staged, like a listing photo. Perfect. Empty. I ate a bowl over the sink. The chili was good. The silence was louder. I didn't cry. I didn't rage. I just chewed and looked at the doorway, where a draft slipped past new weather stripping. That night, the lemon tree dropped 1 fruit. The porch swing creaked. and my phone lit with Dad's name. We need to talk, now. I knew that tone. It wasn't congratulations. It was logistics. It was what they thought they could take. And I should have known then. The housewarming wasn't just empty. It was the prelude to an ambush. They didn't call first. They arrived in a convoy like raiders. Dad's truck in front, Mom's SUV behind it, Tessa in her shiny red car, temporary tags stuck crooked in the window. I watched through the peephole. Mom pressed her lips together, ready to scold. Tessa checked her hair in the visor mirror. Dad had a clipboard. Of course he did. I opened the door before they rang. Hey, I said flat. Mom air-kissed the air near my cheek. We'll bless the house after, she said. After what? I asked. Dad brushed past me like he lived here. Tessa filmed a pan for her story. Look, you guys, my sister's house. No one took off their shoes. No one looked at the crooked blue fish tile. No one asked about the lemon tree. Dad set the clipboard on my counter. Let's get down to it, he said. To what? I asked, though I already knew. He flipped a page, printouts, headings, bullet points. His eyes lit like this was a project he'd long prepared. First item. Since your sister's insurance is predatory, we're moving her registration to your address. She'll park here sometimes. No, I said. He blinked. Excuse me? No registration at my address unless the person lives here. Mom's voice went soft, syrupy. She'll be here all the time, she said. She needs a stable base. Tessa leaned on the counter, phone still in hand. It's not a big deal, she said. Victimless. It's not about crime, I said. It's about my name. Dad exhaled, humoring a stubborn child. You're being rigid. Next item. We need to get your father on the deed. You are my father, I snapped. He ignored it. For estate reasons, he said. So things are clean if anything happens to you. If anything happens to me, I said. My will is in my desk drawer. 2 witnesses signed it. No one goes on my deed. Mom's smile thinned toward sharp. We're protecting you, she said. You don't understand how the world works. I understand perfectly, I said. Dad flipped another page. Fine, then at least pull some cash out. Refinance, a small equity line, $80,000. We'll help manage it. Tessa needs a down payment for a storefront. There it was. The reason they skipped my housewarming. Not to celebrate me. Not to bless my house. But to turn my home into their leverage. I stared at the chili-stained sink. The counter I scrubbed spotless for them. Suddenly, it wasn't my family standing there. It was creditors with the same last name. And that was the twist I hadn't wanted to believe. They didn't see me as a daughter. They saw me as a bank. I kept my voice level. No, I said again. No deed. No refinance, no registrations, none of it. Dad's eyebrows shot up like I'd cursed at church. Mom's eyes shimmered, practiced tears forming on cue. Tessa's phone hovered, hungry for drama. Dad leaned forward, elbows on my counter. Be a good daughter, he said. Step up, provide. I laughed once, sharp. You taught me to provide, I said. You charged me rent at 14. I stepped up, I saved. I did this on my own. This house is not a group project. The air tightened. That moment I was supposed to fold. I didn't. Tessa jabbed a finger. You don't even use both bedrooms, she said. I could move in, help with content. Pay you a little. How much? I asked. She blinked. Dad slapped the clipboard. Enough, here's what's going to happen. We'll fix the deed. We'll refi. We'll register the car. You'll host Thanksgiving. You have the space. No, I repeated, calm and steady. Each syllable a lock clicking shut. Mom's tears spilled. Why are you punishing us? She whispered. You're our daughter. We raised you. Family reallocates resources to the child in need. Your sister is launching. You're steady. You carry more than she'll carry you. I just settled here, I said. This house is my foundation. I won't let you dig it out. Dad's tone dropped low. You don't slam doors on blood. I'm not slamming, I said. I'm locking what I paid for. The silence cracked. Tessa sneered. You're lucky. You got a house. Some of us actually need help. I needed help too, I said. I just gave it to myself. Dad jabbed a finger. If you do this, don't come crying when you're alone. Mom added softly. And don't expect us to show up when you need something. I stared at the lemon on my counter, bright against the spotless surface. I wanted to throw it. I didn't. Instead, I straightened my shoulders. House rules, I said. No registrations unless you live here. No keys handed out. No one on my deed. No loans for boutiques or saws. If Grandma needs medicine, I'll help her directly. Otherwise, this house is not your ATM. Dad barked a laugh like receipt was dirty. Yep, I said. A receipt. From now on, everything has one. Mom shook her head. You've changed. I've moved, I said. And this house moves with me. They left without another word. Tessa revved her new car so loud it rattled the windows. The sound faded into the night, but the tremor in my chest stayed. And I knew this wasn't the end. It was only the start of fallout. The door shut behind them, heavy as a verdict. I stood in the silence, heartbeat echoing in my teeth. Within an hour, the family group chat erupted. Mom, your behavior today was unacceptable. Dad, ungrateful. Tessa, my sister is sabotaging me with DMV screenshots. Her friends sent laughing emojis. A stranger sent a snake. I muted the chat, turned off my ringer. Then I got to work. I changed the lock codes, froze my credit, and flagged my property records at the county. I called the dealership. Yes, someone tried to use my address. No, it didn't go through. Paper trails keep reality real. Mom's voicemails swung from scolding to pleading. If you love me, call me. Dad sent refinance calculators captioned, "Be reasonable." Tessa posted, "Sometimes the people closest to you laugh when you drive. Drive anyway." But in the quiet of my house, I realized I wasn't alone. Grandma called late one night. "Are you eating?" she asked. "Yes," I told her. She chuckled. "Good girl. Don't let your mother guilt you with your walls." That was her version of I love you. On Sunday, while my parents held a family meeting, I grilled 2 burgers. I gave one to my neighbor, the woman who waved at me on moving day. She smiled. "You're a good neighbor." That felt more real than any blessing ritual. A week later, I hosted another housewarming. Not for them. For me. Coworkers, basketball friends, my neighbor. We ate chili and cornbread, laughed on the squeaky porch swing. At 9:10, someone said, "This place feels like you." And for the first time, I believed it. Because family isn't ownership. Boundaries aren't betrayal. Freedom can sound like a locked door, and laughter inside it. This house is mine. Finally, it's mine. If you've ever had to draw a line with family, you know how heavy and how freeing that line can be. Have you ever faced something like this? Tell me in the comments. If you've been through it, you're not alone.